Hey,
Yo,
Rashad.
yo, 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 yo. Okay, yo. Hey, welcome back to the channel, and my name's Rashad. How you been doing? I hope you ain't been doing fraud. Dang it. I tried. My name's Rashad Milligan. If you're new to the channel, this is the road of 5K, so let's get into it. So yes, Candace Parker, the big news of the day. Candace Parker has officially retired, man. She didn't get her, farewell tour. She just retired. And she, from what I've seen, I haven't read the full statement yet, but from what I've seen, she pretty much just said, I've never been one to cheat the game. And and I saw she said after another surgery, it was just a lot. So let's go through the team's official statement and then Candace's statement. Hold on, I'm trying to put this up. Here we go. After her historic 16-year career, where she saw 3 WNBA championships, 2 MVP awards, and a pair of Olympic gold medals, Candace Parker has announced her retirement. The Las Vegas Aces family is thankful for the role Candace played in the 2023 WNBA championship season and for giving all of us, the opportunities to watch one of the greatest to ever play the game over the past 2 decades. Yes, very appropriate statement there from the Las Vegas Aces, organization of class. I don't know if you guys remember, but I gave the Aces and Candace a lot last year for teaming up with one another. And Candace was like, why not, my last year and great facilities and a world-class organization. So, here you go. To one of the GOATs of the game. The dunks, the boards, the blocks, the smile, the swagger, the memories Candace Parker created for a generation of women's basketball fans will remain ingrained in our collective consciousness forever. But she has given us so much more of the game beyond her accolades and statistics. As a teammate and mentor, a mother, a wife, a baller, a broadcaster, and businesswoman, she has inspired countless young people, both girls and boys, to chase and achieve their dreams. Although the majority of our career was played in opposing uniforms, we were blessed to have been a part of our championship team a year ago. We are saddened to hear that she won't be a part of our 3P aspirations, but we look forward to welcome Candace back to Las Vegas as Aces alum, and we can't wait to see what the next chapter of her life has to offer. Thanks for the memories, Candace. Las Vegas Aces. Man, how do you even ooh, it didn't hit me for a while and now it's starting to hit me, man. Oh my gosh. All right, I promise you I'm not being dramatic. Candace, my first memory of Candace Parker, I'll probably go with I'm sorry I didn't. My first memory of Candace Parker was when, the McDonald's dunk contest, McDonald's high school dunk contest. I was like, oh, that's a girl in the dunk contest. I'm like 9, 10 at the time. And, I was rooting for her, and she did the dunk, the D Brown, stuff like that. Like it was just dope. And I followed her ever since then. She was like kind of head and shoulders like better than everybody in that game. For the girls game for McDonald's that year. This was like probably 04. I want to say 04. Because I think Braun won 03. So yeah, she won 04. And I think she went against like J.R. Smith, if I'm not mistaken. But J.R. was drafted in 05. So maybe I'm thinking different. But anyways, it was something along the lines of that time period where I was a child. I was like 9, 10 years old. It's the first time I heard of Candace Parker. She's really good. And then, following her through college, she was like the face of college basketball, kind of like in, I want to say it's heyday, but like one of the golden eras or whatever for me as a kid, for me as a kid and a young fan of basketball. On the men's side, the men's game was still alive back then. So, you had your J.J. Reddick's, your Sheldon Williams, your Adam Morrison's, a couple years later, Tyler Hansbrough's and Rashad McCants, Marvin Williams, Raymond Felton, Sean May, that crew over there at UNC on the men's side. And then on the women's side, you had your, Diana Taurasi's and Sue Bird's kind of graduating and moving on to the WNBA. And the next crop was, kind of led by Candace Parker before, the Maya Moore era at UConn as well. And, yeah, man, she was just the face of women's basketball at the time and college women's basketball at the time. Ivory Ladas was also kind of around that era of kind of closer to Maya Moore and whatnot. But yeah, she was the face of college basketball, women's basketball at the time. Tennessee and UConn, those were the two programs at the time when I was a kid. And she used to be dunking, bro, in the games. And I know I'm not saying anything new to hardcore fans and everything like that. I'm just giving my perspective as a casual 10-year-old watching all the way up through now. And then she used to be dunking in the games, led her team to championships at Tennessee. Drafted number one. I think back then, if I'm not mistaken, the draft was how the draft is there's a 1 week gap between the national championship game and the draft. This time it was the draft was the next day. So she won the championship on one day, was the number one pick the next day with Los Angeles, and was paired up with Lisa Leslie, and it was just perfect because Lisa Leslie at the time, she was the face of the WNBA, you know what I mean? They kind of treated Lisa almost Michael Jordan, you know what I mean, on the women's side and stuff like that. It was the one, if you knew one women's basketball player, it was probably Lisa Leslie. So, to have Candace behind Lisa Leslie or next to Lisa Leslie in the starting lineup to really glean from and learn from, I thought it was a perfect match. It was a Tim Duncan, David Robinson situation in the NBA. And, so Candace comes in there, makes an immediate impact, as you guys know. Probably the most impressive part of her career, being the Rookie of the Year and MVP at the same year, coming fresh off of winning the national championship and dunking in the games at Tennessee. And I think she even dunked as a rookie. I can't remember. And I think, Lisa dunked as well, one of her last times, and got everybody hyped too. And then, I think of that fight in Detroit, you know what I mean? Detroit had the Malice in the Palace for the men, Indiana and the Pistons, for the women. There was a large shoving match, and it was one of the big things discussed on First Take and Sports Center and everything like that. And Candace was in the middle of that, pretty girl Candace and everything in the middle of the fight, you know what I mean, in Detroit. That's one of my early memories and stuff like that. You think of Milton Jones was on them squads, everything like that. And the Detroit Shock, I just came from Detroit, and they would love to have the Shock back and stuff like that up there, asking people up there and stuff. But that's one of my early memories of Candace as well. And I'm trying to think. But before we get into everything else, so yeah, those are early memories of Candace. I'm trying to make sure I get everything as we go chronologically. And then, getting the Adidas shoe was big, huge, but I mean, it really wasn't that crazy because it's Candace was so big, bro. Candace was huge, dog. Coming out of college and everything like that, she was the face of the game. She, if you knew one women's college basketball player at that time, it would have been Candace Parker. If you would have known one of the younger players and stuff like that, how people made kind of the comments. They make the jokes about Angel Reese and how Angel Reese is pretty now and stuff like that, and kind of popular and stuff. That was Candace Parker back then, before Skylar Diggins Smith and everything like that. It was Candace. So, on the other side of things, she was dating Sheldon Williams at the time. And Sheldon, he got drafted by the Hawks. So, it was a lot of kind of Candace Parker, Atlanta connection there early on in Sheldon's career. And late in Candace's college career turned into, WNBA career and stuff like that. That was just always the thing the internet poked fun at, like her and Sheldon Williams and stuff like that. It's like, Sheldon Williams. It was always the thing. Shout out Sheldon Williams, man. Good guy. Shout out to Layla. And Layla is grown up. They had a baby. That was early on in Candace's career, too. And Layla is, like, all grown up in high school now. She's playing with some other girls out there in private school in Cali. I'm not sure if it's private. I'm just kind of yapping. But I met one of her teammates over the offseason in Atlanta. She's like, yeah, I go to school with Candace Parker's daughter. You know Candace Parker's daughter? I was like, yeah, Layla. She's like, yeah, I'm on the team with her. Stuff like that. So, Candace loves Layla. And so does Sheldon, bro. Both of them really love Layla. She's raised in such kind of like under loving parents and stuff like that. And I feel like they've come to a pretty nice, it feels like a mutual thing of co-parenting and a nice balance. I don't think co-parenting's ever beautiful and perfect, but they make it work from the outside looking in. We haven't seen much drama from them. I think Sheldon does another part when they divorced. Sheldon was asking for money for a payment from Candace because she was making more than him. Like, because at this time, Sheldon was out of the NBA, or he was barely hanging on in the NBA, and he was starting his career overseas for the last couple of years of his playing career. Meanwhile, Candace had the Adidas deal, and, she's the face of the WNBA and getting all these outside endorsements. So, yeah, anyways, so we move on up. The Womakay sisters come out of Stanford doing their thing, everything like that. Nneka ends up on Los Angeles. Nneka blossoms into the MVP. And this is 2016. Candace has kind of always been knocking on her door. Could never give it over the hump. The first 7, 8 years of her career. 2016 comes. And yeah, Minnesota is amazing. They're on their run at this point. But Los Angeles also amazing. And now you got Chelsea Gray at the point guard position as well. Now, folk come down in Minnesota, boy. Late game, y'all already know what's going on, man. On the block, you got Chelsea Gray. Spin move looking like Kate Martin now over there. Who's Kate Martin on? Kate Martin on Vegas now? Kate Martin, ironically. Kate Martin, saving the team, everything like that. Chelsea Gray doing the thing. Nneka Womakay, MVP, doing the thing. And they helped Candace get her first one, man. They helped Candace get her first one. She's starting to butt heads a little bit with Derek Fisher, but she got her first one. She gets her first one. She's crying. I think that's the most beautiful one. 2016. LA gets it done. Then, she don't make the Olympic team. What's going on, Gino? Then, I think she was voted like most overrated by a unanimous poll from the WNBA players. She said, bet. Y'all think I'm overrated now? Bet. I'm like, dang, Candace has been playing for a minute. Because like I said, I remember from like when I'm like 19 years old watching her on TV, bro. So it was like she was still kicking everything like that. But they were starting to write her off. Derek Fisher benched her in the playoffs. We like, D Fish, what you doing? They still ain't fired him, man. I think that man got fired like mad years later or whatever. Well, she took that personally. She ain't complaining about it out loud when it happened. She was just like, yeah, I was kind of confused by it, but it is what it is. That's his decision. And, she just went on over to Chicago. I said, dang, they must have been beefing for real. She goes on over to Chicago. She wins another chip with our hometown team. Ari Chambers is one of the first people she greets on the floor. They hugging, they crying, everything like that. Junk crazy. Did it for the hometown. And I said she top five. Candace Parker still had it in her, man. Kyle Copper, obviously. But Candace was that catalyst that really pushed Chicago over the hump. 2 championships. Shout out James Wade, man. So then... Now what you on? CP? Okay, I'm going to go to Vegas. I don't like it. I ain't like the move at all. I like, okay, You know what I'm saying? You running from the grind, this and that. You already got two. What we doing? Vegas just coming off of getting one. What we doing? Candace, you up here down in Atlanta in the Turner Studios every week talking about like how weak KD is or drawing the grind and super teams and all this, and then you join the super team. What we doing, Candace? What we on? What we on? What we doing? By the way, she started her Turner career and everything, broadcasting. She getting it going and stuff like that. Becomes one of their better, analysts and everything like that. And, of course, got some personality, can dress, can go with the dude, the more masculine prison and the more suits. Or she can go, a little more feminine, wear the dresses, everything like that. And then, when Shaq, Candace, you look pretty, Candace. So that's a whole thing in itself. But... yeah, man, that's Candace Parker. That's Candace Parker. Goes to Vegas. She bites back at some of the people, including myself, for calling her out. And she says, I can't end my career with this. I've been going here, been treated like this my whole career. I can't end my career, go out like with the soft life, you know what I mean? I said, you know what, Candace, you got a point. Saw Candace play for the last time last season in ATL. She didn't look like herself, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. She didn't look like the Candace Parker of old. She still had a little game in her, but you could tell that, her body, bro, something was off. And then it came out shortly after that, playing in Atlanta and stuff like that, she was playing hurt all season and she needed surgery. So, she gets the surgery, season ends for her, and she's on the, sidelines, everything like that for the rest of the season. Asia Wilson carries them to another championship. So she gets number 3 there and calls it a career. And the entire time she was throwing hints of, this is probably my last year. But you were still thinking, okay, she might get a farewell tour because she was one of those underappreciated players, when you think about the entire Olympic situation, to where UConn hasn't won a championship since then. Or like... we were talking about the whole signature shoe thing, and she does have a signature shoe over at Adidas. Now she's no longer active. Well, there's that for active players in the WNBA, black players in the WNBA with the signature shoe, officially, grand opening, grand closing. And, I don't know. It's just, I felt like she got her flowers, but she didn't in a weird way. It's almost like Skylar Diggins-Smith. Like, Skylar Diggins-Smith gets her flowers, but she still doesn't in a weird way. Like, to the full extent of how they've all impacted the game. Like, you think about Asia Wilson with the leg sleeve thing. Like, Asia Wilson's mad popular, everything like that. But I don't know if she fully gets everything she kind of deserves. We were talking about that on the signature shoe thing. Skylar Diggins-Smith with the headband over at Notre Dame. And just like her, like kind of period, what she represented of being like a beautiful woman who was like the best player on her team, a hooper, and like Cole, an assassin, bro. Like, Sky is an assassin on the court. It ain't no friends once that ball's tipped. And she just like a fireball, bro. And same with Candace, but Candace usually tallest player on the floor and everything like that, just could do it all. Could block the shot, rebound, bring the ball up. When you look at the Maddie Bookers, when you look at, obviously, Asia Wilson's, Elaine Deldon's, who pretty much everybody, bro, like every girl, especially if she was tall, looked up to Candace Parker at some point and wondered about another, especially if she looked up, if she liked basketball. She was one of them. She was like Elisa Leslie of our generation. And, I kind of wish she would have had that, tour and stuff like that. But I think, she knows because it was hysteria for her on the road. Every time she came to Atlanta, it's mad fans cheering for her every time she makes a bucket. Mad Candace Parker jerseys in the stands. People just going crazy for her, autographs, everything like that. In terms of me and my media career, I interviewed Candace once. That was like 2016 in Atlanta. They were working on Phillips Arena, transforming it into State Farm Arena at the time. So the Dream were playing their summer games in McCamish Pavilion, which is on the campus of Georgia Tech. And, I was like just recording some Candace stuff. Then I did a story on Maya Moore either that year or the next season, and also did some with Sky and stuff like that. But I was getting all the major kind of influences and figures in our time, and when I got to just get in a couple questions with Candace, I asked her. I said it's gonna be real quick. She's like, okay, thank you, because in the WNBA, bro, the teams can't shower until everybody gets in to shower, so they have to wait for everybody to finish their interview. So she's like, all right, real quick, 30 seconds. So I asked her 2 questions. I asked her about, like, the foul calls, and then I asked her about, like, what went wrong in the game. She answered the questions, gave me full answers, complete answers, everything. I said, thank you. She said, thank you. She really appreciated that I kept my word, that it was going to be two questions, 30 seconds, something like that. I chopped it up, put it in my story and everything. And it was something that I was very proud of, and something I'm still very proud of, to know that I interviewed Candace Parker. It was an honor. It was an honor to cover her. It was an honor to watch her career. I'm just so grateful and thankful that I was able to kind of witness it in my lifetime. Thankful for the fact that she gave back to our hometown team, Chicago Sky. Thankful for what she represented on the Spark side in LA, what she means out there. And just thankful for the way she kind of gracefully exited in Vegas, and what she's doing down here in Turner in Atlanta. The city of Atlanta gave her a Candace Parker Day, maybe like a month or 2 ago, and I found out about it after the fact. And I was so mad, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just basic. Why would you not invite me? But besides that point, man, I'm just appreciative of everything she's done in every kind of city and place that she's touched. And she deserves these flowers, whether or not she's going to get it through a Jumbotron and a video thing and a whole standing ovation and a bouquet of flowers. Like, you're going to get it, bro. You're going to get these flowers. You're going to listen to these just words of, like, thank you for all you've done for inspiring young girls and young boys all over the world, and especially in America, and what you represented for this particular generation. I've been yapping a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and read this statement from Candace. I know you're going to miss me. I'm retiring. I promise I'll never cheat the game, and that I'll leave it in a better place I came into. The competitor in me always wants one more, but it's time. My heart and body knew, but I needed to give my mind time to accept it. I always wanted to walk off the court with no parade or tour. No, just privately with the ones I love. What now has to be my last game, was to be my last game, I walked off the court with my daughter. I ended the journey just as I started, with her. This offseason hasn't been fun on a foot that isn't cooperating. It's no fun playing in pain, 10 surgeries in my career. It's no fun knowing what you could do, if only. Dang. It's no fun hearing she isn't the same when I know why. It's no fun accepting the fact you need surgery again. I fell in love with the lower orange ball at 13 years old, and because of it, my world goes round. The highs are unmatched and the lows taught me lessons. On and off the court, I'm proud I've always been true and stayed true to me, even when it wasn't popular. I'm grateful for the 16 years I played a game for a living despite all the injuries I hooped. I'm grateful for my family, friends, teammates, coaches, doctors, trainers, and fans who made this journey so special. In the meantime, I know I'm a businessman, not a businessman. This is a beginning. I'm attacking business, private equity, ownership. I will own both an NBA and WNBA team. Broadcasting, you better talk that talk. Production, boardrooms, beach volleyball, dominoes. Sorry, babe, it's going to get more real. With the same intensity and focus I did with basketball. My mission in life, like Pat Summitt said, thank you. One time for Pat. Pat's final prodigy, man. Walked away from the game, man. A piece of game. We lost a piece of basketball today. Gosh, Lee. Yeah, appreciate Candace. Like Pat Summitt always said, it's to chase people and passions and you will never fail. Being a wife and mom still remains the number one priority. And I've learned that time flies, so I plan to enjoy my family to the fullest. Today's players, all caps, enjoy it. No matter how you prepare for it, you won't be ready for the gap it leaves in your soul. Forgive me as I mourn a bit, but I'll be back loving the game differently in a while. I'm done for now, so one for now. Possibly forever, we have fun together. But like all good things, it must come to an end. Please show me the same love to my friends, dear Summer. Candace Parker. Ooh-wee. We appreciate you a lot. Goodness gracious. This is difficult. I didn't know it'd be this difficult to make this video. It seems kind of silly. But like, I remember one time, let's look at this roster. I remember one time, like, my sister graduated, like, college a couple of years ago, which sounds crazy. And I'm like, I cried. And I told my mom, and she was like, you getting old. Shout out to my mom. All right, we got Angel Jackson from Jackson State as a potential. Oh, shout out to Tamika Reed getting her new job at Charlotte. You know what I mean? One of the best coaches in the country. Proved it. 2 HBCU players drafted for the first time in over 20 years. What more can you do than that? Gave LSU a scare and a run for their money at LSU in the championship game. Kate Martin, as I said, so she is on there. Kia Stokes. Megan. Y'all girl Megan from Iowa. Let me see where else. Leash. But she's a wing. Kirsten, excuse me. Bell, a.k.a. Get It Sexy. Get It Sexy. She's over there, going to be a 4 as well. Bree Bill, a wing. So, you know, in terms of 4s, you got Bell. You got Megan. She's not a 4, but Biggs. Angel Jackson. Liz Kidley's out this season. And Kia Stokes. So that's who you kind of have like as 4 prospects right now on the roster. More than enough. Salute to Morgan Jones making the preseason roster and stuff like that. Godspeed to you this offseason or this preseason making that team. Man, this team has a lot of my favorites. Bria Hartley, Deasia Fair, of course, the rookies and everything. They had a really good draft class. So it's going to be a dogfight to see who makes the team for those last few spots. And thank you to Candace Parker for allowing the young players to have a chance to make the team. You know what I mean? Not just hogging it, because you would have made the team for sure. When you look at all-time scorers, you got DT number 1, Tina Thompson number 2, Tamika Catchings number 3, Tina Charles number 4, Candice Dupree number 5, DB DeWanna Bonner number 6, Cappy, dang, shout out Cap, number 7, Sue Bird number 8, Candace Parker number 9, and Katie Smith number 10. Just outside the top 10, you got Sylvia Fowles, Big Sil. What up, though? Lisa Leslie, Lauren Jackson, Simone Augustus, Nneka Nwumeke, Becky Hammond. Who else you got at the top 20? Angel McCautry, Milton Jones, as we were discussing earlier, Katie Douglas, Lindsey Wellen. Just outside of that, you got my homegirl, the homie, Swing Cash, Tangela Smith, Brittany Griner, BG, Taj McWilliams Franklin, Maya Moore, the GOAT, Cheryl Swoops, another great, Jewel Lloyd, Alana Beard retired the same time as Kobe, and Kobe said, happy retirement. That was kind of like one of Kobe's last things. I miss you, Kobe. Miss you, Bean. Shamika Holsclaw, EDD, Stewie, Penny Taylor, Chrissy Tolliver, Gia Perkins, Crystal Langhorn, Tiffany Hayes, Sophie Young, Malcolm, a.k.a. Jesus. I'm joking. I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. Vicky Johnson, Caleb McBride, Monique Curry, Yolanda Griffin, Skylar Diggins-Smith. I'm trying to go down to 50. Let's go see 50. Rebecca Brunson, Courtney Vandersloot, Asia Jones, Dina Nolan, Tweety, Nikisha Sells, Betty Lennox, and Chastity Melvin. Excuse me. I just want to say thank you so much, Candace Parker. All right. I'm going to go to this thing. Here we go. Injuries.
I couldn't get 10 I wanted to get 3, but I was like, wait, Candace is going to get her jersey retired very soon. So I knew she was going to get her jersey retired soon because she's an amazing player, amazing mom, amazing person, and she's always been super inspiring to me. So I always will love her and watch her game.
That's an interesting thing. Is she going to get her jersey retired? Because she only played, 1-2 seasons in Chicago? I mean, she did get a championship, and she is from Chicago. But we'll see. And like I said, she is the one that lifted them up over the top. So, I mean, it's not crazy. It's for sure not crazy. I pulled up the Dream. They started training camp today. I will be in the building hopefully tomorrow morning as they open it up to the media to watch the team. But exciting stuff here to see some old faces and some new faces. You see Ryan and Nazir, but Jordan Canada in the background. She's got a right hand injury right now she's dealing with. You have Aerial Powers, Nia Coffee there in the background as well. Ryan and Nas. Yesterday. Oh, they signed Destiny Henderson. So they signed Henny. Henny's getting the chance now to make the roster in Atlanta. They don't have no scrubs on their preseason roster either. So it's going to be, interesting to see who makes that team. The final team, final couple of players. It's going to be a dogfight. It definitely is no game. It's not a game at all. Let me see. You see Coach there. CP, Cheyenne Parker, Aerial Powers. You got the great Tina Charles and LA in the background. You know what I mean? LA, this is an opportunity for her to learn and make that leap. Get in the lineup, get in the rotation, everything like that. Let's look at Dallas as well. Look at Coach. Coach, we go back. You go back to Georgia State as well. Oh! And it cut with my twin BB. What do you mean, huh? Oh, nah. Y'all know one of the hoopers, Crystal Dangerfield. You talk about giving someone they flowers, Crystal Dangerfield, the way she slid across it. Stop playing her Enrique Agumawale as well. Agumawale. Where the heck? Where we at? Training camp roster up here. And then we'll get out of here. I'm sorry, guys. 33 minutes. Goodness gracious. Jaylen Brown, Kalani Brown, Veronica Burton, Northwestern, The Hands, and McCannon, Crystal Dangerfield, Natasha Howard. I got a Natasha Howard interview. I don't know if I ever put it up, but I have one from the BET Awards. She was with someone who was on the red carpet, and I was like, "Are you Natasha Howard?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Can I interview you?" And I just asked her about basketball. It was pretty cool. Lou Lopez, Sinichal, Tierra McCowan, Erika Gumawale, Ashley Wusu. Oh, Ashley, on your spot. Get you one in now, Wusu. Yeah. Y'all see Maryland got who the Berry, Amari DeBerry over there from UConn. Maryland just landed her. Yeah. Satu, Katrina Pardee, Satu Sabli, J.C. Sheldon, my surprise pick of the draft at 5. Maddie Segrist, Stephanie Soares, and Sevji Ujon. And I apologize for that last name. But yes, my name is Rashad Milligan. Until next time, please take care of yourselves. Candace, thank you all for that you've done for the game. Thank you for listening to me yap for 35 minutes, man. I really appreciate it.